Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Vocal Development with Gwenlyn. Before we begin singing, make sure you are in a good practice space where you can make plenty of noise and that you are in your singer's position. Remember that's feet shoulder length apart, maybe a tiny step in front of the other, standing nice and tall. To begin, let's do some more consonant pulses. My turn, then yours. Good. Now we're going to try a breathing exercise. We're going to breathe in for 4 beats and then out for 4 beats. Here we go. Slow breath. Make sure you're focusing your breath coming from your belly and not your shoulders. Keep those relaxed. Here we go. Breathing in. Pretty good. Let's try it again. 4 breaths in. Or 4 beats, breathe in. And then let's try 6 out. Here we go, big breath. I hope you had some air left over, maybe. Let's try it again. Go for 8 beats. 4 in. Here we go. Last challenge, 10 counts out. 4 in, 10 out. Here we go. Excellent. That's working on controlling our muscles in here so that we don't just like throw our air out, because that's so useful to us as singers. Okay, first exercise is going to sound like this. You'll notice I had some short notes at the beginning. Those are called staccato. Can you say staccato? Staccato means short. If I play it on the piano, that's usually the difference between and. So when we sing, we have our staccato, and then the smooth sounding ones are legato. Say legato. So we have staccato and legato. Our first exercise, once again, sounds like this. Your turn. Really quick pause. Make sure when you're doing those staccato notes, you're just starting and stopping your air. Don't feel like you have to slam your vocal cords together. So we have because that's very difficult to sing and doesn't sound as great. So starting and stopping the air, and then let this be a checkpoint for, are you using your yawn space? Try it again and go. Keep that stretch face up. It's in the air. Okay. We're going to use 3 of our 5 Latin vowels in this next exercise, focusing on getting just the pure vowel itself. So no diphthong. In Texas, we have a lot of high, kind of do, kind of multiple vowels sounding. So we're working on just the pure vowel. The first vowel we're going to do is me. Say that. Me. And then me. That one's a really tricky one. Me. And then ma. All of these using that yawn space. The me vowel tends to sound like may, especially in Texas. So be careful that you're not singing about the merry, merry month of May, but meh, and focus on getting that jaw to really relax on that vowel. I sometimes tell my singers if it feels uncomfortable, then chances are you are doing it correct. Feel free to check yourself in the mirror as you're singing that, and you might notice what your jaw is doing. The exercise sounds like this. Singers, this might be a little low for you, but you're welcome to try. That chest voice. Ladies, I call it our manly voice. Okay. Going back, we used this word last week. Alleluia. We're going to change it just a little bit. We're going to add some of that staccato right on the top of the exercise. It's going to sound like this. Alleluia. We had 4 of them on the top. I challenge you to make each one just a little bit louder. Alleluia. And then remember, don't give up on the descent, if you will. Don't fall to gravity and give up after your 4th. And then that last note is just as important as the first one. In fact, if you think about a song, that last word, the last thing you sing, is probably what's going to stick with your audience a little bit more than who knows what else happened. So, try this one. Big breath and Alleluia. Yawn space. Okay, so now I want to work on something that we call solfege. Can you say the word solfege? This is what singers use to kind of mark the different notes in our scale. I'm a pianist, so if I use the piano as an example, my scale would sound like this. And that's what we use to create our songs. So now, as singers, we don't have something visual to look at like a keyboard, which is oh so delightful. So instead, we're going to use solfege, which includes hand signs as what we call a kinesthetic tool. Can you say that word? Kinesthetic. It just means something visual. We can't see our voice, but we can see our hands moving. So now when we use our hands, and we'll follow through these hand signs in just a moment, you'll notice I make my hand higher and lower depending on what I'm singing. I challenge you to do the same thing so that your brain has a visual of I'm going higher or I'm going lower. That will really, really come in handy as we're learning how to read music later on. So when you look at your scale, you notice that we have two do's. We have one on the bottom and one on top. We call that low do and high do. And low do should be hand sign wise somewhere around your belly button. And then be careful that your high do only ends up somewhere around your jaw. You really don't want to like push it way into the sky. I'm guilty of doing that every once in a while. I apologize in advance, but I'm going to try my very best to make sure that it stays right here so that we're not doing anything too crazy. So let's first walk through these hand signs. The first one, do. Go ahead and say the word as we go, challenging those really tall vowels we've been talking about, and maybe even that yawn space. My turn, then yours. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. Notice it's not do, but do. And then we also had re. Bonus points if you can flip the R on there so we don't have re. Not as huge. Okay, let's walk it back down. Top do. Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. Let's walk it together up and right back down. Here we go. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. Remember, if you need to slow it down and rewind this video, you are welcome to do so at any point. This practice is for you, not me, and not Charlie. Okay, so now if I sing our solfege, it's going to sound like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Let's try that together. Big breath and do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. A little bit faster. Breathe and go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. This is called our major scale. Later on, we're going to learn different scales, but for right now, that's a good start. So now I'm going to do a pattern with our new solfege, and I want you to copy it back. Try your very, very best, and bonus points for hand signs. Here we go. Do, re, do. Do, re, mi. Mi, fa, mi. practice our rhythm for today. Quick review before we continue. Last week, we talked about how a beat is a steady pattern like a heartbeat. It remains the same and it doesn't really change. Whereas our rhythm is the way the words go. And that one can change. Some things that we discussed last week. This is our quarter family. Here's our quarter note, full and fat of one beat of sound. Here's our quarter rest, which is one beat of silence. You can kind of think it's all shriveled up. Over here is our half family. These take up half of the measure. Our half note is full and fat of 2 beats of sound. And our half rest, remember, looks a little bit like a hat, gets 2 beats of silence. So before we put this together, remember, if you want to slow this down, you can. If you're feeling good about this rhythm, you can try speeding it up in the video. You could even try singing on these. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, and we clap every time we see a note head. Let's go ahead and try this. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. Thank you for working hard. Remember, practice at least 5 days. Practice 5 because you are building muscles when you do that. Just like some person that's wanting to get nice and strong doesn't go to the gym once a week, they probably go to the gym more often so that they can really, really strengthen those muscles, and that is the purpose of these videos. I'll see you next time. Happy practicing!